What's up, everybody? New Kaser back here for another episode of No Kaser Live. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the first topic, which is going to be Daniel Day-Lewis is returning to acting. So this is awesome news because he's probably the greatest actor to ever live. I mean, look at how many Oscar nominations he's had. Look at how many wins he's had, how many phenomenal films he's had. So he stayed retired for 7 years, right? 7 years. His final film was supposed to be Phantom Thread, which is a phenomenal film. I love it. Well, this is coming to us from IndieWire. And IndieWire is reporting this. Daniel Day-Lewis returns to acting for son Ronan Day-Lewis's first feature anemone? I'm going to say anemone. I could be wrong. But 7 years after the Oscar winner announced his final retirement in 2017 following Phantom Thread, Daniel Day-Lewis is set to lead his son's directorial debut. And Ronan and Daniel co-wrote the script for Focus Features and Plan B original film. So, it's his first acting role since Phantom Thread. It'll also co-star all of these people. Sean Bean, Sophia Oakley-Green, Samantha Morton, and Samuel Bottomley. So the logline teases the drama will explore the intricate relationships between fathers, sons, and brothers, and the dynamics in a familiar bond. So this is phenomenal news. It is freaking phenomenal because if you don't know who Daniel Day-Lewis is, he is probably the greatest actor to ever live. I'm not kidding you. Look at all he's done. Phantom Thread, which is my personal favorite. Gangs in New York, phenomenal film. The Last of the Mohicans. I don't love that film, but I think he's great in it. Lincoln, which I think he did he win for Lincoln? I can't remember if he won for Lincoln or not, but that's a phenomenal film. Great role. Love Daniel Day-Lewis as an actor. I still need to see some of his bigger stuff, but he's definitely delivered on every performance, I think. I mean, I haven't seen There Will Be Blood yet, but I need to see that one as well. Daniel Day-Lewis is returning to acting. Are you excited about this? But what I think is very interesting is it's a father-son team-up movie. That is phenomenal because if you really think about that, we don't get a whole lot of those nowadays that actually work out. So when you bring in Daniel Day-Lewis, potentially the greatest actor ever on screen, this is phenomenal news. He is back. We have potentially the greatest of all time. We'll see how this film turns out, but we know that he's going to be phenomenal in it. And what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We're going to go into the comments up next because I did have one here before I started the stream, and this is from Michael. What's up, Michael? It's great to have you here. A great friend, and I'm pretty sure he's getting ready to watch NXT on the CW at 8 o'clock. So we're going to go into our next topic, and our next topic is this. The Wild Robot has a massive opening, while Megalopolis flops. We'll talk about that in just a second. So if we take a look at this, Megalopolis was never going to be a massive film, but The Wild Robot, we didn't know how this would fare. We literally had no idea how big this film could potentially be. So this is coming to us from Variety. Megalopolis collapses. It crumbles with $4 million, and The Wild Robot lands at number one with $35 million. This is massive because if you take a look at what Transformers 1 did last week, it did nothing. So Megalopolis, we will take a look at that. We will take a look at that in just a minute. So coming down here. Wow, this is not working out with Variety. Variety is not loading very well. Let's do this. So anyways, it opened with $35 million. That's a massive opening for a caliber of a animated film, which had almost nobody who wanted to see it until we got into the little thing known as marketing. Marketing is everything. Marketing is everything. So let's take a look at this. What happened at the box office with this? $35.7 million. We'll take a look at the top five once we get to the ticket tracker. So it's opening at $56 million worldwide within its first couple days of being open, of being out in theaters. The previous chart, an established franchise with Transformers, which has 6 films in its log line right now. 6 films in its coveted franchise. Opens to $24 million. Why do I think this happened? Why do I think The Wild Robot earned more than Transformers? Well, Wild Robot is obviously a newer film. It is well marketed. The cast is not all that well known. I mean, sure, you have a Oscar winner in Lupita Nyong'o, who is a name. We just saw her a couple months ago on screen, actually, in A Quiet Place Day 1. Why did this perform better than Transformers 1? Well, Transformers 1 had 6 other films before it. It was a massive letdown, what happened with The Last Night. And some people didn't really care for the last film in Rise of the Beasts either. Now, Bumblebee, a lot of people liked Bumblebee, but I think the Transformers franchise is starting to lose its steam a little bit because they have been bogged down by the Michael Bayism of it. Michael Bay killed the Transformers by himself. Legit killed it with its over-the-top, ridiculous fanfare. However, what really made it bad is the scripts. Now, are you watching a Transformers film for the script? No. But here's the thing. Kids don't love the Transformers like they used to. They don't, and this proves why. Parents who love the Transformers, everyone thought, well, there's a lot of fans of the 1980s movie. I'm sorry, they didn't show up for that either. This is what happens. The Wild Robot did not have a great marketing campaign. The good thing is it worked. People thought it looked charming. That's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. And I think that it is the greatest thing that they had done. I think it's the greatest thing that they have done in DreamWorks, marketing this film. People are loving this film. Some people are even calling it the greatest animated movie of the year. I've even heard a couple people say of all time. I'm not going to go of all time yet. I haven't seen it. There's a lot of films before it that I need to see, and a lot of other films that I am ready to say are the greatest animated film of all time, like The Lion King, Aladdin, Fantasia, Beauty and the Beast, Shrek. I mean, there's a ton of other films that I would consider the greatest of all time, but I have not seen The Wild Robot yet. It's striking a chord with people. That's why it's doing so well. Word of mouth is spreading. It's doing great, and I am so glad. I'm so glad that this happened to it. So, what do you think about this? Have you seen The Wild Robot? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited that it's doing this well in theaters? I didn't think it was going to do $35 million. This was a massive thing. This overperformed at the box office from its projections. What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So we're going to go into the comments next before we go into our next topic. Yes, Michael, I am ready for the first NXT show on the CW. I'm probably going to watch the first hour of it or so before we get to Agatha All Along, because I want to watch that tonight, because I got a lot of other shows to watch tomorrow. But I am looking forward to this. Yes, I am. I'm glad The Wild Robot is doing well. I thought it was going to bomb like Iron Giant did back in the day, and later would become a classic. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We're going to take a look at when the Iron Giant came out, because all that really needs to happen, right? Okay, so it came out in 1999, but I want the actual date. So with the Iron Giant probably had a lot of stakes against it, right? So it opened here in the United States on August 6th, 1999. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what came out that week. Because if something big came out that week, then that's what we need to look at. Because it's not that it bombed because it's a bad film. It's clearly not a bad film. It's a phenomenal film. The Iron Giant is a great film, one of the best animated movies ever. So, here's what happened, right? Here's what happened. Taking a look at what happened here, we're going to go to July of 1999. July of 1999, we had some heavy hitters in theaters. We had some legit heavy hitters in theaters that were banking big off of it. So there weren't a lot of screens to play it. What it did have is this. Here's what happened. This is coming from Box Office Mojo and their calendar. Look at all that came out within the coming weeks of 1999. July, going all the way up here, you go all the way up here to the top. You had a limited amount until we got all the way down here to American Pie. American Pie was blowing it up. You had Muppets from Space, making money. Eyes Wide Shut, making money. Lake Placid, making money. The Wood, making money. The Blair Witch blew up. Inspector Gadget made enough money for it to get a sequel straight to home video. The Haunting was bringing in the horror audience. But this was big. These were the three big ones that really hurt it, Michael. Runaway Bride, Deep Blue Sea, and The Blair Witch Project. That same week, you had Dick. Dick, with Michelle Williams, Will Ferrell, and Kirsten Dunst. So, what happened there? What really happened? I think this is what happened. What happened is the box office did not have a great return because of everything that came out before it. However, after that, after the Iron Giant, people had to watch their money in 1999, because if you take a look at August had the Thomas Crown Affair, The Sixth Sense, and Mystery Men immediately after that, with Bowfinger after that. So, heavy hitters. We didn't know they were heavy hitters back then. We really didn't know that they were the heavy hitters then. But I preface this. To say this. I'm going to go back to the box office of 1999 to see what was number one. What was number one in 1999? Going back, we're going to take a look at what happened on August the 8th. August the 8th, 1999. This was the box office. So I'm looking here. I'm looking. And I'm going to show this to you too. I think this is very interesting. But this is what's very interesting. Take a look at this. The Sixth Sense. Right? The Sixth Sense. We're going to go to the first. The first, before it came out. Inspector Gadget. The Haunting. Everything. Legit everything. But The Weeknd looks like this. The Weeknd had a ton, and I mean a ton, of releases, if it will work for me. There we go, 1999. So going back here, there it is. So we had The Sixth Sense opening. Look at all this competition it had, Michael. That's what happened. The Sixth Sense blew it up. The Blair Witch blew it up. Runaway Bride was a massive hit. The Thomas Crown Affair had a bigger cast, but you also had a nice little modest hit with Inspector Gadget. That was bringing in your family crowd. But Star Wars was in its 12th week, still making $2 million. So the Iron Giant was not beloved. It was not a beloved hit. It was a $70 million film making $23 million. I think that this movie didn't have much competition. It didn't really have much competition. But that's just basically what happens, man. Some films don't hit, some don't. The Wild Robot had good word of mouth. Hope to see it next week. I'm hoping to see it next week as well. This week, I'm going to go and see Joker Folie à Deux, because I need to see that. Thanks to TCM, I watched Ordinary People. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. And the film won Best Picture. I'll add that to my Letterboxd watch list immediately after the stream. Dick bombed as well. And I remember enjoying that film. But Muppets from Space also bombed too. Yes. But taking a look at what it did, that whole week, all those weeks leading up to it, maybe it wasn't marketed well. But the thing is, the Iron Giant did take a 34.6% drop. But what happened with the second week? The second week of The Sixth Sense. This is massive because I don't remember a film in recent history ever doing this. I don't remember ever doing this. 3.4% drop in its second week. 3.4% drop and gaining 234 theaters. Even with something like the Blair Witch Project, that earned another 270 theaters. All those were gaining money and gaining money and gaining money, but you also had bigger names attached. So those films did bomb, but it's not without some things going on with it. I'm surprised Inspector Gadget did well, and that film is a guilty pleasure for me. Yes, it's a guilty pleasure for me too. I don't love it. I actually watched that a lot on the Disney Channel when I was growing up, and I have the double feature on DVD of Inspector Gadget and Inspector Gadget 2. Two ridiculously short films, but a lot of fun. And the last comment from Michael before we get into our next topic. Brad Bird went on to say that the Warner Brothers marketing department is another reason why the Iron Giant bombed. Because of the lack of marketing. Yep, see? It's because of the lack of marketing. But also the mountain of other films coming out. I don't know if it would have been a whole lot better in the box office if it wasn't for The Sixth Sense or Deep Blue Sea. Star Wars was still making money in theaters too, so that was taking away your family business as well. But we're going to move into our next topic. And our next topic is this. Megalopolis flops hard. So we just saw this. We just talked a little bit about this during The Wild Robot. So this is not without a little bit of cause as well. Because taking a look at what happens to this, Megalopolis is a box office bomb, to put it nicely. This movie had a $120 million budget, and it earned the massive amount of money. The massive amount of money known as $4.5 million worldwide within its first 5 days of release. That is awful. It's because of the marketing. The marketing didn't tell you what the damn film was even about. If you can't see or tell what the movie's even about, it doesn't matter how good or bad your film is. It doesn't matter who your filmmaker is. It doesn't matter what your name is. Look at something like Blade Runner 2049. That film should have made money. Blade Runner is a beloved classic. It doesn't matter if you don't tell what your movie is about. That's it. Your movie's done. Your movie's done. Also, the controversy with the fake critic reviews, that didn't help either. The trailers didn't look all that interesting. Now, I know that a friend of mine did really enjoy it. He really enjoyed it, and that's awesome. I'm not going to be able to see it until it comes to rent to give my thoughts on it by the end of the year, but it's not a good sign for this film. With Francis Ford Coppola putting all of his money in there by himself, that is massive. That's a ballsy move. I credit him for that. He's given us a lot of fantastic films. The Godfather and The Godfather 2 being his two biggest ones, obviously. But I'm not surprised that this bombed. I'm just surprised it bombed this hard. Because, yes, it was looking at 3 million to maybe 5 million. That's right in the middle. But Megalopolis did flop. Not a whole lot to say on this, but we talked about The Wild Robot, so we got to talk about Megalopolis. We have to talk about the Megalopolis film as well. But what do you think about it? Are you going to see it? Are you surprised it bombed this badly? And do you think that Francis Ford Coppola is ever going to make another film again? Because with this being a box office bomb, I don't know unless he is going to fund it himself. This is going to lose the studio and him hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. This is a box office bomb, and it's a shame that this bombed because with Francis Ford Coppola, Adam Driver in this cast, we want it to be great. But what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. We're going to go into the comments one more time because we do have another comment. And Michael says, not surprised that Megalopolis flopped. I still see it. Okay. He'll still see it probably. Has Coppola had box office success with recent movies? So, we're going to take a look at this because with something like this is going to take a bit of looking at. So, with his films, let's take a look at this. Francis Ford Coppola box office. So his box office movies, okay, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to go to Rotten Tomatoes and I'm gonna have to look that up for you. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. Come on, man. So we're going to take a look at it this way. His recent films, he hasn't made a movie in years, like literal years. But taking a look at this, we're going to go here. And here is Francis Ford Coppola. Okay. So taking a look at what he's done recently with his films, his most recent film before this, that wasn't a re-release or anything where he wasn't an executive producer. This was his first film since Twixt. In 2011. That movie did not make a whole lot of money at the box office. He has not had a movie make a good bit of money at the box office since The Good Shepherd in 2006. So taking a look at this is his massive filmography of some of the all-time greats. The Good Shepherd did, okay, so he wasn't even the director of that. Okay, so where was he a director for that? He was going, we're going to go down here, since 1997 in The Rainmaker. I believe that's it. The Rainmaker, 1997, $45 million. Jack at 58.6. Don DeMarco, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein as a producer, Bram Stoker's Dracula at $82 million. So a lot of these, he's not really an acclaimed director for the box office. However, he's had some massive hits as well with Apocalypse Now, The Godfather Part 2, made a good bit of money. But the issue is he's just known as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time because of his it's his filmography. It's his filmography. It's not a fault of his own. It's just because of other films coming out at the time and other factors in there. But there you go. He has had some box office success, but not massive. Jack is my all-time favorite Robin Williams film. My favorite all-time Robin Williams film, not including Aladdin, is probably Mrs. Doubtfire, definitely. I still have to see Jack, actually. Are you looking forward to Bad Blood? I'm going to have to miss a little bit of Bad Blood because I have an interview on Saturday night around 7 or 7:30, so I'll be able to catch a little bit of it. But I'm definitely going to go back and watch a couple of those matches. Going down here, we have this massive bit of news. Scream 7 announced for February 2026. So this is massive news. This just dropped today. It was just announced a couple of hours ago that Scream 7 has an official release date. This is coming to us from Screen Rant. The Scream 7 release date is confirmed. Scream 7's release date has officially been confirmed as the sequel inches closer. After the massive success of Scream in 2022 and Scream 6 in 2023, Ghostface is set to return in a seventh film with original movie writer Kevin Williamson set to direct. It's going to face a massive number of setbacks like it already has. It's already lost Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, as well as the original director in Christopher Landon. But the film is on full speed ahead, with Neve Campbell set to reprise her role as the ultimate final girl, Sydney Prescott. Going down here, it has a massive release date of February 26th, February 27th, 2026. Now, this is massive because with everything that's going to be coming out that week, oh my God, do you have a massive amount of movies to watch in 2026, people? This is just adding to it. This is just legit adding to it. I'm not even kidding you. 2026 movies is bonkers. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with this. This comes out in February. Coming to us from everything coming out in 2026, I'm going to use IMDb. This is crazy because 2024 has not been a massive year for movies. Sure, we've had a Doom Part 2 and a Deadpool Wolverine and an Inside Out 2, but we have Avengers Doomsday, The Batman Part 2, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, The Brave and the Bold, Fast X Part 2, The Mandalorian and Grogu, Aang, The Last Airbender, the live-action Moana. And apparently we're getting another Inspector Gadget film. But look at all of these films, right? The Batman, the Cat in the Hat. We have a untitled Pirates of the Caribbean movie that we're probably not going to get for a long time. Dune Messiah. Scream's just going to kick it off. Now, this is coming from somebody who's not a massive fan of Scream 6. I thought that was a lazy film that redid exactly what Scream 2 did with multiple killers and stuff like that. I'm hoping this is better. Now, I hate to tell you, folks, Scream doesn't make money at the box office. Sorry, it doesn't make money at the box office. Sure, the budgets are low, $20 million, but if you take a look at all the Scream films, oh my God. Oh my God, do they not make money. When you think of what the Scream box office has done, you would automatically think, hey, wait. How much have they done? Well, let's just take a look at this because Scream 7 is coming out. It is coming out. But you got to take a look at what the 2022 Scream did, okay? On a 20-something million budget, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. At all. But this is what the box office did. $138.8 million. If you think of the Scream movies, you would think that these movies make bank. They make bank for the budget, but no movie has crossed $200 million at the box office. Okay, let's go to the original Scream. Scream. Well, there we go. Going down here a little bit more. $173 million. No movie in the Scream franchise has made as much money as the first one, and that was back in 1996. Next, Scream 2, $172 million. They've gone downhill from there. Scream 6, $169 million. No movie has made more money in the franchise since the first one. Okay? So, these movies need to be lower. What happened with this, right? We heard that they wanted Neve Campbell back for Scream 6. They didn't get her because they didn't want to pay her the money she was worth. She's your lead character. She's Sydney Prescott. The movie was fine. It was fine without her. She was definitely missed a little bit. They still mentioned her. Now what you're doing here is you're bringing back the core of the franchise. You're bringing back Sydney Prescott. You're going to bring back Courtney Cox with Gale Weathers, of course. And, of course, you're probably going to bring back Patrick Dempsey as well. More than likely, that's the story I'm hearing, is Patrick Dempsey, and it's going to involve him and maybe her kids. So I'm looking forward to that. But Scream 7 is coming out. It has a release date now. It's probably written by now. They're going to start shooting this very, very soon, probably in the first quarter of 2025 5, I'm going to say probably by March or April, they'll start shooting this. And it'll be in the can and finished probably by October or November of 2025. But let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited for Scream 7? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to make a lot more than the other films? Or do you think that the controversy that's happened with Scream 6 is going to hurt this? I don't think it's going to hurt it much. I think you're going to hear a little bit of a resurgence about it. Once it starts having a little bit of marketing, the first poster comes out, the first trailer comes out, there's no Jenna, there's no Melissa. Well, guess what? They're massive stars. They'll be fine. I'm sure they missed the franchise. Guess what? It's time to move on. They have. You're going to hear a bunch of people just bitch and moan about it, and that's fine. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts. So next up, we're going to go into the comments, and I only seen the first 3 Scream films. I like most of them. I really love 1. I love 4. I love 5, and I like 3. I don't care for 2 all that much, and I really don't like 6. I think 6 is the weakest one. Do we really need a 7th Scream film? Do we need to bring the franchise back, actually? Because with the money it made in 2011 with Scream 4, it didn't do all that big money at the box office, actually. It didn't go on to be a massive, magnificent hit at the box office. I hate to tell you that, it didn't. It didn't. It earned $96 million, about $100 million, a little under $100 million at the worldwide box office on a budget of, I'm going to say $30-40 million. Then they learned, hey, we need to keep the Scream budget low. We need to bring back our core characters, make them the center of the franchise, and they didn't do that. They decided to bring in new characters who we fell in love with, and now we're going to go back to the core. So we'll see how the timeline shapes up. We'll see if Jenna and or Melissa are ever mentioned, or any of the kids are ever mentioned again. We'll just have to see. But it's making money for the budgets, so as long as they keep making money, sure. I think you just want to see your box office keep going up. I think you still want to see this. So is it going to hurt it, Michael? I'm not sure. But next up, we're going to move into this. I have 2 reviews for you guys, and then we're going to go into Release Rewind, the Ticket Tracker, Netflix Top 10, and what's releasing this week in theaters and on streaming. So up next, we're going to move into this. The Real West. The Real West is a brand new Hallmark film starring Kimberly Sustad and Lucas Bryant. Now, this film is one that I had no expectations for. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had no expectations for it going in, but this is freaking phenomenal. This is one of the best Hallmark films of the entire year, delivering heart, emotion, comedy, and romance. A family vacation to a working ranch introduces Professor Rebecca, played by Miss Kimberly Sustad, to Jake West, played by Lucas Bryant. And Rebecca is a widow chasing tenure, and Jake is a handsome cowboy who has never settled down. This movie is freaking great. It is great. This movie delivers heart, emotion, family, everything. You have multiple subplots that work. So it turns out that Rebecca's sister ended up starting to see a new guy, which so happens to be Jake West. So they start to have a little bit of a connection. When they have a connection, things start to happen. The family is starting to see something. The kids really, her kids really like him, and they're keeping a secret from the sister because they don't want to hurt her. They're not really cheating. There's a nice little dream sequence in there that really felt like a Harlequin book with a kiss in it. That was really, really nice. But I really think that that's a great scene because it really delivers. It delivers what you want it to. There's a real emotional scene with Kimberly and the kids where her youngest son runs off. And when her youngest son runs off, he is bawling. He said he wanted to go and see his dad. He wanted to go see dad. And he wanted to go and see him again. Well, he isn't going to see them again. And Kim, her character, and Rebecca says, we're not going to see your dad again. At least not for a very long time. At least not in this lifetime. That was very sad. It's a very heartbreaking scene. You see the raw emotion on everybody's faces. They're delivering fantastic performances. There's also another subplot where her one son, I believe his name is Noah, nice name by the way, that he has a girlfriend, and he invited his girlfriend on this family vacation without telling his mom. He's getting ready to go to college, and she's not ready. She's not ready for this just heartbreaking venture. This heartbreaking venture of just him going off to college and everything else. Everything else. I am astounded that this movie accomplished this much. We also get a teenager asking Jake, in Noah, asking Jake, what does it feel like to be in love? He's starting to feel these feelings for his girlfriend. He's not sure if he's in love because he's never felt that before. It's a very nice written scene. It's a nice father-son moment that he doesn't have with his own father because he sadly passed away. This is a fantastic Hallmark film. I don't have a single issue with it. It could be a little bit faster, but you know what? Watching it, it moved at a rapid pace. The Real West is a fantastic Hallmark film that I'm going to give 5 out of 5 stars. So overall, I'm going to give this my top grade, A+. The Real West gets 5 out of 5 stars, A+. Great job, Kimberly Sustad. Great job, Lucas Bryant. You killed it with this film. I can't wait to see what happens with your next films. I'm hoping they're all great. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you a Hallmark fan? Did you see this film? What did you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So next up, we're going to go into the next review. And the next review is going to be for the Apple TV Plus film starring Brad Pitt and George Clooney in Wolves. So Wolves is the brand new Apple TV Plus film starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt. This movie had a limited run in theaters pretty much because there was a lot of other things coming out besides that weren't going to make all that much money. But this movie had a limited run in theaters for a week. Wolves is a nice little action comedy that is all about these two guys in George Clooney and Brad Pitt who don't have names, by the way. They're hired to cover up a high-profile crime. A fixer soon finds his night spiraling out of control when he's forced to work with an unexpected counterpart. So the first 45 minutes is all about them just trying to figure out what to do with this body. What to do with this dead body. And it's just their just banter back and forth that is so funny. It's funny. It looks realistic. But what happens in the very next hour of the film is what really makes this movie. The chemistry is great between these two. George Clooney and Brad Pitt know how to deliver fantastic chemistry. Fantastic chemistry between these two. They know how to deliver a brother dynamic that is just bickering back and forth to no end. And I loved that. I loved that. It worked so much. The last hour of this film is where it's starting to lose people. Because there's some comedic moments here that don't feel earned. There's moments here that don't feel earned. There's just a lot of moments here that just feel like they happened. For me, I enjoyed this wild ride. This movie worked for me as a whole. I enjoyed the action. When there is action, it's not really an action film. It's more of like a crime comedy, if you will. It's more funny than anything. If I'm being completely honest with you, it's more funny than anything. But I really enjoyed this film. It could have been picked up a little bit more with a little bit of action, a bit more characterization. Is that the word I'm looking for? Some more character between these two. I like that you didn't give them names, but we're not feeling connected to these two as a whole. So overall, I thought this was a nice little crime comedy. I don't have a ton to say about it, but I did say that I would review it. So here's my review of Wolves. I really enjoyed it. Check it out if you're interested. I know it's not getting the best reviews, but I say check it out. It's a nice time. If you need something to watch on streaming, just watch it. It's a nice little crime comedy. It kind of feels like a cozy crime film. I'm not even going to kid you. I think it has some good charm to it. So I'm going to give Wolves 3.5 out of 5 stars. And on my grading scale, I'm going to round that up to a B. A B to a B minus, but a B nonetheless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you seen Wolves? Are you looking forward to it? I hope this review helps you decide whether you want to watch it or not. But there's my review of Wolves. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. So next up, we're going to go into my favorite segment to do every single week, and that is Release Rewind. So Release Rewind is the segment every single week where I take a look at all the movies that came out 10, 20, 30, 40, and sometimes 50 years ago. So let's get right into it. We're going to move into the 2014 movies where you have 3 films that came out, and those are Annabelle, earning $256 million worldwide, spawning off more Annabelle films and Conjuring franchise films. Gone Girl opened up that weekend as well, earning $367 million worldwide. And Left Behind bombing with Nicolas Cage after having awful reviews, legit awful reviews, and only earning $20.7 million. Going down here to 2004, we had Shark Tale earning $371 million. I've seen that film once. I thought it was fine. I didn't grow up with that film. I didn't go to theaters to see that film. I remember going to theaters to see another film. I remember my first film in theaters was supposed to be Garfield, but I remember going and seeing Finding Nemo because we went back to school and literally everybody is talking about Finding Nemo and they're quoting it, Fish Off Friends Not Food. And Ladder 49 is a film I have not seen. I've seen the DVD on shelves multiple times and oh my goodness. Wow. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to finally checking this out. I'm going to add it to my watch list, and I can't wait to see this. $102 million is not that bad. Fantastic cast with John Travolta and Joaquin Phoenix. October 8th, we are adding this in. We had Friday Night Lights at $61.9 million. I have not seen this film. I'm adding it to my watch list, and I'm going to watch this next Tuesday. On the 20th anniversary of it coming out. Also, a Hilary Duff film called Raise Your Voice. I have not seen this film. It doesn't look up my alley, but I'm pretty sure that a couple of my friends have seen that film, and they probably really enjoy it. October 7th, 1994, we had The Specialist, earning $170 million at the box office. Only You, which I have seen, a mediocre romance film with almost no redeeming qualities. It's very slow, with almost no chemistry between our 2 stars in Marisa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr., earning $20 million at the box office. Quiz Show, which is a great film from what I've heard, earning $24.7 million. And Ed Wood, bombing, only making $5.8 million at the box office. October 5th, 1984, we had Teachers. I have not heard of Teachers before, but I did add that to my watch list after seeing that. So I'm looking forward to that. It sounds intriguing. I added it to my Amazon watch list, and I might rent it at some point. And Places in the Heart, earning $34.9 million at the box office. And finally, I did want to show this. Today is the 50th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I can't show that without letting you guys know that I was given a press package from Dark Sky Selects celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They were nice enough to send me over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary box set with the chainsaw accessory. They sent me a sealed VHS, which I did open up. I did open this up. It is from Dark Sky Selects. And they sent me the 4K Blu-ray as well. I have not seen this film. I look forward to watching this very, very soon and talking about it towards the end of the month. So thank you to Dark Sky Films for sending me this to finally check out. And thank you for the fun chainsaw prop. That was stupid. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed Release Rewind. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about all these films? Does this segment make you feel old? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So, next up, we're going to go into another segment that I love to do every single week. It's a lot of fun to make these graphics, but it's also a lot of work. So next up, we're going to move into Ticket Tracker. So Ticket Tracker looks like this. Number 1 was The Wild Robot at $35 million, earning $53.1 million worldwide. Beetlejuice, earning another $16.2 million, adding to its total $373.5 million. I think it might bottom out closer to $420 million. It's going to stay in theaters at least through Halloween, I believe, and after that, it's probably going to leave. Transformers 1 earns another 9.3. Still a box office bomb, though, at $62.3 million. Is that Devara Part 1. Devara Part 1 is a foreign film. It might be a Bollywood film, a Indian action film, earning $5.6 million. And the overseas box office didn't help this a lot, only earning another $49,000. $49,327 to the box office. And Speak No Evil earned another 4.3, giving it $57.6 million at the box office. So there's that, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You're probably asking, where's Megalopolis? It only earned $4 million. It only earned $4 million at the box office. So there's that, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this box office? What do you think is going to happen this week when we get to Joker? We'll talk about that next Tuesday. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts. Next up, we're going to move into the Netflix Top 10. So the Netflix Top 10 looks like this. We've had some films drop on Netflix, and the Netflix Top 10 has changed quite a bit. It has changed quite a bit, actually, and you will see that I've added some films to my Netflix watch list. So we're going to take a look at this. The Netflix Top 10 for movies looks like this. Number 1 is Jailbreak, Love on the Run. I've heard a little bit about that. I know a friend of mine has watched it. I know a lot of true crime people are really enjoying that. The Garfield movie at number 2. Number 3 is Resball. Number 4, the documentary Will and Harper. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, which leaves tomorrow. It's not going to be on here next week or on Friday, so that's a little heartbreaking for fans, but it's okay. Rebel Ridge at number 6. Trolls Band Together at number 7. The Boss Baby at number 8. Number 9 is Minions. And The Invisible Victim. A true crime documentary is number 10. In the TV shows, we're going to go down here and take a look at the top 10 TV shows, and they look like this. Nobody Wants This at number 1. I'm still going to watch that. Number 2, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. Number 3, Mr. McMahon. Number 4, The Great British Baking Show, the new episode or the new season. The Perfect Couple is still in the top 5 at number. Is still in the top 10 at number 5. Ellen DeGeneres, For Your Approval. I'm gonna watch that this week. I've been looking forward to that. Penelope at number 7. Emily in Paris at number 8. We Were Kings at number 9. And Seong Creature, a foreign action series. So there's that, everybody. And we're going to move into our last segment, and that is what's releasing this week in theaters and on streaming. So let's take a look at this. This is going to be coming to us from releases.com, as it does every single week. And this is what's coming out this week. It's a massive release week, so I got a lot to review for you guys. So let's get right into it. Okay, so moving down here, this week we have Joker Folie à Deux coming to theaters. I will be seeing that and giving you guys my review of that. VHS Beyond coming to Shudder. Max. On Max, we have Salem's Lot. On Hulu, we have Hold Your Breath. On Netflix, we also have It's What's Inside, which I'm looking forward to seeing that. And on Amazon, we have House of Spoils. But I'll be giving you guys my review of the brand new Hallmark film, Autumn at Apple Hill, as well as a brand new mystery film in the Hannah Swenson Mysteries, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And I can't remember what that's called right now. Oh my gosh. I have to look that up. I have to look that up, or else I'm going to feel so bad. What is you called? A Sprinkle of Deceit, a Hannah Swenson mystery. So that comes out next week, this Friday as well. So I'll have my review of the Hannah Swenson mystery, A Sprinkle of Deceit, a Hannah Swenson mystery, Autumn at Apple Hill, Hold Your Breath, House of Spoils, It's What's Inside, Salem's Lot, and Joker Folie à Deux all this week. I might get to VHS Beyond, maybe. I'm going to have to see the runtime and check out a trailer for it. But if you have a limited theater that shows limited releases, we have Monster Summer and White Bird coming to theaters along with The Outrun. And if you like to rent stuff, My Penguin Friend is also out along with Strange Darling and Deadpool and Wolverine. So stay tuned for all that, guys. And as always, like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you thought of the show. And until next time, everybody, like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see all of you guys next time.
So where do you go when the fire is low?